When the school bell rings next week, not all kids will be heading to the classroom. More and more Florida students are choosing to be homeschooled, and at last count, there were 90,000 homeschoolers here in the Sunshine State. Dennis Dienwa, a creator of homeschooling curriculums and a homeschooling dad, joins us with some helpful resource information. Great to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Is there still a stigma about being homeschooled?
I'm sure there is.
And so what do you say to get away from that? 90,000 kids is no small portion here.
It's not. I think the biggest thing is that it's just getting educated, right? We're in education, and most people, the stigma is just not knowing what homeschooling is about and how it works and how amazing it is for the young people that do it.
I bet. So what are the reasons that a family might choose to go that route?
Oh my God, there's so many. Some people do it just, they have a concern about the public school. So for me, but most of the students I run into today, and that might have been the older stigma that it came into, but most of the students I see now, they're doing the things that are really important to them. I have students that they're professional debaters. They're in speech and debate. We have athletes and dancers and artists and musicians, and so they're finding young people that they're expressing themselves and they're finding their passion, and in that, homeschooling is a perfect way to do that because they don't have to be at home all the time. They can travel, they can be in different places, and at the same time, they're getting all the education they need.
And again, at the risk of having this sound derogatory against traditional school, you're not wasting any time when you do this at home. So
None at all.
I've heard from the athletes, they have more hours a day to train, or a dancer has more hours a day to practice their skill.
And they need that. And I was a public school teacher way back when, so I know, and I know where the kids are coming from, and I know where they've been and where they're going. So
Okay, so once we decide that we want to do this, it's got to be some kind of help for the parent, because as the parent who would be doing it, how do I choose a curriculum? How do I make sure every course objective is met for graduation? Where do the parents get this help?
It's amazing how well networked homeschooling is all across the United States. I travel to homeschool conventions this time of year. It's kind of our season to do that. I've been everywhere from here in Florida all the way to Alaska and back.
Oh wow!
So it's been really cool, right? So it's like yay, kind of kind of be able to do those kind of things. But in every state and every community, just here in Sarasota, there's communities here and groups here that are here to help new homeschooling families, organize trips for young people. They help them with their transcripts. They help them with their college admissions. So it's and when they come to the convention, there's a huge convention in Orlando every year. It's one of the biggest in the United States. When they come to that convention, all the different curriculum providers like myself, we're all there, and we're there to talk to people and tell them about what we do and how we do it. Okay.
Do you feel that Florida gives enough information out so that testing requirements and curriculum requirements are clear, so that there aren't any gray areas?
Right. I think every county has a different way that they do things. For us here in Sarasota County, what the county wants here is they want either an evaluation done by a professional educator, so somebody that has a teaching certificate, or they take a standardized test, and then the evaluator signs off on that, review the materials, and send it into the county that way. So that way the county knows what's going on with the young people as well.
That's very good.
Yeah, it's great.
Then the teacher at home knows that they're meeting those qualifications.
Absolutely. And for me, I do a lot of test prep, but I have gotten into portfolio evaluations over the last couple of years, and I love doing that because we actually have the students present their portfolio to us at the end of the year.
Neat.
So they have to come in, and we give them the PowerPoint clicker, and they get up and they present their portfolio, and they have to tell us what they learned. And what we find out from the young people over and over again is that they'll say to us at the end, they're like, I didn't know I learned as much as I learned this year. So it's really cool to watch them do that, and the ground they've taken, and they talk about the things they're into. So it's great.
Let's talk about your business a little bit and how it relates to homeschooling, because I know you specialize in that higher level math. If I were to homeschool, I would not be teaching this higher level math to my child. So did you choose that route as your focus because that seems to be where parents who are homeschooling struggle?
Yes and no. So no, because I was a middle school and high school math teacher.
So that's your background.
Right, so that's my background. So that was where my area came from. And then yes, because it was exactly that. It was, just being in and around education for as long as I have, everybody, it's always been, oh, I can't do the math, and they always need help. And so for me, was there a way to develop a program that's like having the math teacher right in your home?
Oh, that would be
great. So I broadcast right into people's living rooms, because we do our courses online, as well as we have recorded videos that the kids can watch and listen to.
I think the concept that homeschooling now has developed to the online classes, the online videos, you're studying, the Grand Canyon in geology, so you take off on a trip with your family. I mean, there's just some amazing things you can incorporate into the schoolwork.
Absolutely.
Now, address the social aspects, because I know that that's what everybody worries about. How will my child learn to interact in the world if they've been a little more isolated? How do you work with that?
Well, if you think about most homeschoolers, they're kids, right? And they're like every other kid, and they have after-school activities they want to go to. They go to their dance groups, they go to their theater groups, they go to their sports activities, they do the different things that they do. And then, so they're already interacting in the social ways that way. But then a lot of the homeschooling groups that are local to every single community, and there's a really great one here in Sarasota, that they organize field trips for the kids. They have co-op classes where the kids actually come on site and they'll meet with someone that facilitates the learning for them each week.
Oh, good.
So they're around other kids and they're in a class setting, but they're just not doing it every day.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? As I used to tell my kids, you're not supposed to be social in school anyway.
Right.
You're there to learn.
There you go.
So at least you're getting it separated. All right, a lot of great homeschool information. It's amazing how it has changed. For more homeschool curriculum information, or if you need advanced math and standardized test prep help, you are going to want to find Dennis at MrDmath.com.